Hello there, friends and followers, and welcome to this live stream. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for today's show, and today we are in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we are at exactly the HotStart FBO, where we're going to be transferring some business executives from Salt Lake City to Denver, Colorado. I want to welcome Jim Saunders. Welcome to the VVIP membership. Captain Colorado, welcome to the stream, my friend. Robert, hello, my friend. Welcome. Hey, Fred, how's it going? Alexander, hello there. Welcome. And we've got also Daniel and Niels with us today. Welcome, folks. Glad to have you all with us in this stream. It should be a fun flight. We're joined today by Captain Mitch Shack, who's going to be the first officer. And your captain is no other than myself, Q8 Pilot. And yeah, today we're going to be cruising at about 30,000 feet and carrying about 5,000 pounds of fuel. We're going to get Jenny to sort us out just now and order the Jet A fuel for our flight. Our business executives are quite in a hurry to close a high net worth business deal today. So time is of the essence. We need to get them there as soon as possible. Let me pop the chat out. So a lot of good stuff happening in the X-Plane world. We all have seen the trail. Hey, Ryan, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome. Danny, hello, my friend. Welcome. Lots of good things are happening in the X-Plane world, without a doubt. We all have seen the trailer of the Airbus A330 for X-Plane 12, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I really am very excited, and I actually reached out to one of the Laminar research team members, and it's going to be really exciting, as the entire scenery gateway is going to get revamped with brand new graphical assets, which then, of course, all the developers will be using WED, the new version of WED, to update the airports. The submissions to the scenery gateway is going to be just enormous right after the release of X-Plane 12. Of course, handcrafted airports will also require some updates, and to use those are using the old assets will require the use of the new asset. But that's a lot to digest in this stream, and we are in a hurry to get our guys over to Denver, Colorado. So without further ado, let's come here, speak to Jenny, and get things sorted out. Alrighty, and let's take a note of the November 678 Papa Charlie. November 678 Papa Charlie. And we're just going to put about, since the passengers in a hurry, we're going to get them in 10 minutes. We're going to order some Jet A fuel. I'm not sure how much fuel is in the aircraft right now, but this should be sufficient. And well, let's see here. Let's go ahead and we need so there's a Q8 Pilot and Mitch Shack, the first officer, and we're carrying 4 business executives today with us aboard this flight. Let's go ahead and sign this. And
of course, Captain, I'll get that organized for you right away.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Appreciate it. And off we go to the aircraft. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, the HotStart Challenger 650, a beautiful aircraft, one of the probably most detailed. I don't think there is anything that is more detailed than this aircraft. And let's go ahead and open the door, and we'll make sure that our business executives are comfortable once they board the aircraft. Lovely sounds, lovely reflections, and just the amount of details is, wow, outstanding. So, here we go. Let's hop in here, take a look, make sure the cabin is clean and ready for the passengers. We're also joined today by Lindsay. Lindsay is going to be the stewardess, part of the cabin crew today for this flight. She's going to be serving the business executives aboard this flight. And let's hop into the cockpit here. And let's remove the HUD so we have a better display. Now, in the interest of time today, I am not going through the entire compartment checklist. We will probably skip that, but hopefully in this flight, I will be able to show you how you can actually start the aircraft from cold and dark without having to go through a lot of details or not go through the detailed checklist. We will do whatever we need to, and we'll skip the rest. Here's a look at the outside, by the way, and this scenery is a beautiful scenery by Mr. X6 for X-Plane. It's a really beautiful rendition of Salt Lake City. We are in the Jet Center here at the airport. As you can see here, Salt Lake City Jet Center. But the entire airport is beautifully modeled, really, and is one of the nicer sceneries for X-Plane here, as you can see. Beautiful airport, really, by Mr. 6X. And of course, as usual, the link is available by typing !DEP. Looks like the fuel truck has arrived, and let's go ahead and start things up here. We are going to turn on the battery master. And we're going to also turn on the APU. Actually, let's wait and see here. Let's see. All right. We did not order the external power, so let's go ahead and power up the APU. Power fuel is on, and we're going to start the APU. All right, we can see the fuel being pumped in. This is actually just reading what's already in the aircraft, so there's nothing being pumped in, but it will give you a readout of how much fuel as the fuel system, the flight computer starts reading the information and feeding it to the display. Here we can take a look. You can see the fuel being updated by the aircraft computer. And in the meantime, we can see the APU is now available. As you can see here, RPM is 99. And we have got with us...
All right, Captain. Fuel truck is hooked up. Just let me know how much fuel you need. Or would you like to go tanks full today?
Gulshan Kumar, hello, my friend, and welcome. Mark's Landings, hello, my friend. Welcome. Glad to have you with us in this stream. Okay, so let's take a look here. 4240 pounds, and what we need today for this flight is, let's see here. We need about 4244, so we actually have sufficient fuel for our flight. So I'm just going to tell him to disconnect. There's no need for additional fuel. All right, so no more fuel. The aircraft has sufficient amount of fuel in its tanks. We're going to go ahead now and turn on the APU bleed. So APU generator first. APU generator, there's no APU bleed here. Everything looks good here. We're going to turn on the hydraulics. And we're going to turn on the nav lights and logo lights. And then we're going to move to the center of the overhead panel here. We're going to leave the fuel boost pumps off for the time being. We're going to make sure APU LCV and the 10th stage isolation valve are both open. Here's the HotStart FBO.
Hello, Captain. It's Jenny from HotStart Flight Support. Your passengers have arrived. Shall I have them brought to the plane?
Absolutely.
Understood. They'll be there in a couple of minutes.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
And you do the same, Jenny. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We can go ahead and turn on the air conditioning packs now. And this is all done. Emergency lights are armed. Seatbelt signs, we're going to turn those on. And we're going to non-smoking signs to on as well. We can actually put those on auto, like so. And ELT is armed. We don't need any of these lights at this time. And now we can head over to the glare shield and make sure that it's okay. Let's cancel the master caution light. Let's take a note of our altitude. Today, 30,000 feet. So let's go ahead and set that. We're going to bring this here so you can see the altitude being changed here. So we're going to update this to 30,000 feet. And once we're through with the altitude, we are going to set the speed to 200 knots. All right, 30,000 feet is set, and we're going to change the speed to 200 knots. And 200 knots is now set. Perfect. Glenn Chambers, hello, my friend. Long time. How are you doing? I hope all is well at your end. I hope you guys are all doing very well. And we have that set, and we can also take a note of the wind information today, weather information. So if we look here, in fact, there is an application that I use, guys, really handy application called Avia Weather, and it is really a very good application to use. It gives you all the information about weather and departure runway and all that good stuff. So if I look at Salt Lake City today, MVFR, the wind is 204 knots. There's a little bit of mist in the air. Clouds few at 700, AGL few at 1400, or beg your pardon, 14,000, and broken at 20,000. Visibility 4.3 kilometers. Temperature is -1 Celsius, dew point -2. Humidity is 92%. QNH is 3048. 3048. Departure runways 14, 16 left, 16 right, and runway 17, which I believe is our departure runway today from Salt Lake City.
Hello, Captain. Hope you are doing well today.
I'm doing fine. How are you?
There's nobody else coming along today. So as far as we're concerned, we're all good to go.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Just make yourselves comfortable in the back, and we'll be out of our way. We'll be out of our position in just a few. We're just getting things loaded up, and Lindsay will be taking care of you for this flight today. Just enjoy the ride. All right. So all is good here, and if you guys are interested, I can show you Avia Weather in just a few. Once we are airborne. We've got with us, we have Joe from Brazil. Hello, my friend, and welcome. Speed check. Hello, my friend, and welcome. Glad to have you with us today. All right, so we've set the speed, and the altimeter is 3049. So let's set that, 3049. 3049. There we go. We're going to set this also right here. So we're going to come to the menu, and we are going to change. No, that's not what I wanted to do. We're going to go down to config right here, and then we are going to press this, and now it's in inches, and I think we need to reset that. So if we come back here, all right, 3049. 3049 is set. All right, perfect. So we're done at least with this part. We're going to go to the FMC or CDU, and we're going to go to IDX. We're going to go to status, and we're going to make sure that the correct database is selected. So the correct ARAC database is selected, which it is now. We're going to go back to the index position initialization. We are at Kilo, Lima, Sierra, Charlie. Is that so? Let's see. It's KSLC. So let me correct that. KSLC. Yeah, I thought something was off. All right, that's the airport. and that we can select that and just stick it here. And then we can go back to the index. We're going to go to the root menu. We're going to select flight plan recall. That will get it from SimBrief. When you do this, folks, make sure that there is, when you go to SimBrief, make sure that you put in a flight, like an airline, any code in the airline code, in the ICO code box. Otherwise, it's going to give you errors. So we are at Kilo Sierra Lima Charlie, and we are heading today to Denver, Colorado, Kilo Delta Echo November. And that is now selected, and we're going to say send. The request is pending, should be just a minute, and it should retrieve the data. Alexander, hello, my friend. Jerry, welcome, my friend. And Daniel, hello, guys. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with me this evening here in Kuwait. And you can see now that the data link flight plan has been loaded. We can go to the secondary flight plan, and we can now activate and execute our flight plan. As you can see, we are departing out of Salt Lake City through the Purdy waypoint, and then to Camper, and then it's our arrival into Denver, Colorado. Here's what we're going to do very quickly. We are going to select our departure. Our departure today is through the, let's see here. It's going to be runway 16 right. Oh, there is a change in the departure runway. So we're departing runway 16 right through the Rugged 2 departure. I positioned the aircraft here, so it's going to be quite a while to get to the runway, but that's okay. So this is the Rugged 2, runway 16 right. We can actually take runway 17. We can take runway 17, because if we look outside here, let me show you this. So if we go back here, runway 17 is right here. This is runway 17 right here. So we are at the jet center, and it is a runway that we can take. So I think here's what I'm going to do. I am going to select runway 17 through the Rugged 2. So we'll take the same departure. And we're going to go next through the Purdy transition. And the departure transition is the Rugged 2 departure transition, and we're going to execute that. And if we take a look at the flight plan now, we can take, let's see here, let's go to next, previous. We're going to go direct to Bubby, and we're going to execute that. Rugged Hearts, yep, all right. And then we're going to go back to the departure, and we're going to select the arrival into Denver, Colorado. And we are arriving today, Denver, through the Longs 2 star. So let's go to the next page, Longs 2 star. And we are going to select Camper transition. And from Camper, it is an ILS runway 16 right, which is this one here, through, let me see if there is any transitions. Let's see. Longs 2, there is Bivy. Kale, that's the transition. The Kale transition, and we're going to execute that. All right, we'll wait for the irises to align. Shouldn't be very long, and then we'll take a look at our flight plan. But things should be good. Stan, hello, my friend, and welcome. Kuwait today, Turco will stream at 21 Zulu about the first update of the CL650. Oh, that's great. I didn't know that. Greetings, Kuwait and family from Inverness. Well, welcome, my friend. Jerry, thank you very much. How have you been, Stan? It's been, yeah. All looks, yeah. Absolutely, Stan. Glad to have you, my friend. Thank you for your support throughout. Guy Brush It 3, MSFS pilot. Good evening, my friend. All right, so The legs page now looks like this. There is a discontinuity here, so we're going to select it and we're going to execute that. All looks good here through the box, through the bivy waypoint, and then all looks good here. There is a disco here. We're going to clear that and execute. Everything looks good here and all looks good here. So now the flight plan looks fine and dandy. Perfect. All right. Next up, we're going to go to the performance page, and we're going to performance initialization. If we look at our cargo today, we are carrying about, let's take a look here, cargo, about 700 pounds of cargo. 700 pounds of cargo, and the fuel is 4330. 4330, and we enter that here. Cruise altitude is a flight level 300. 300 is inserted. There we go, and we're going to execute that. Check fuel at destination. Do we need more? All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put 4600. And that should be sufficient. Yeah, 4600 pounds. All right. And let's go to takeoff. And from the takeoff page, we are departing runway 17 today. If we look at the wind here at Salt Lake City, we have winds calm. 0. All right, so winds calm, at least according to SimBrief. Looks like we have the IRS is aligned now. And the current outside temperature is -2 Celsius. -2. Whoa, freezing cold. All right, so that's the QNH 3049 is already set. And what is this doing is self-test. All right, so all is good here. And then we're going to go to the next page. And now, as you can see, we have our speeds there. And we can select the speeds and say send. And that should set up all our speeds in there. Perfect. Back to the legs page. In fact, what we can do is we can go to the route menu again and flight plan wind update, and we can send that. And what it will do, it will update all the wind information for each sector of our flight. Again, very, very detailed aircrafts, and all right, so now if we go to the legs page and go to legs wind, still not updated, so we'll just give it some time. Okay, so now what we'll do is let's hide this and that, and this is our flight plan here. So we can go to the format here and we can check the flight plan. Actually, let's leave this in this format, and we're going to come here and change this. There we go. All right, so that's our, let's decrease. All right, so now we can step through. We need to execute. That's the weather information being updated. So if we go to the next page, no, hold on a second. No, we need to be there, but we need to switch to format plan. All right. All right, that's the plan, yeah. All right, if we go to the next page, I'm not sure how to, flight plan, that looks okay. All right, well, never mind, that's fine. We'll check the flight plan later on once we're airborne. We've got Joshua Gaming 777. Hello, my friend. Welcome. All right. So we have our flight plan, and all is looking good here. Let me go ahead and change the lower format. There we go. And we can there we go. Okay, we are good there. We're going to arm the reversers, ground spoilers on auto, and we're going to turn on the stab trims and engage the yaw dampers, and everything else is good here. All right. So everything is looking good. Everything is configured now. So we are ready to start the aircraft from the engines. If we look up here, all is looking good. We're going to turn on the fuel boost pumps. And we are going to call the, let's see here, we're going to start the, we need to close the doors. And once we do that, we can be on our way and start the engines. What did I do? Perfect. All right, that's done. And we're going to bring up the screen. Why is the screen not coming yet? All right, well, we'll worry about that later on. Let's come down here. And okay. So we are now ready to start the, that's why we don't have, all right, let's go now and check it out again. Yeah, there we go. And now we can come here and play this to the passengers.
If we may please have your attention. Your flight crew
Okay.
to welcome you aboard.
We're now ready to start the aircraft. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to
Flight compartment checklist. Engine start checklist.
engine start checklist.
Doors.
The FAA's
Closed.
regulations require
Parking brake
passengers
and
to
pressure.
observe the lighted seatbelt and no smoking signs.
Checked
as
and
well
set.
as to follow crew
Fuel
member
quantity and
instructions
balance.
at all times.
Checked. Beacon.
During takeoff and landing,
Beacon.
On.
seatbelts must be
Fuel
secured,
boost pumps.
worn low and
On.
tight across the
Ignition.
base. If the seats are equipped
Armed.
with a shoulder harness,
Engine
it
2
must also be
start.
secured while
All right, we can start the engine number 2 now.
smoking is not
And to do this, we're going to press and hold until the white light is illuminated. And then you can watch the engine spooling here at 22%. We're going to introduce fuel.
is prohibited
There we go.
at all
And now the aircraft is starting.
destroying or disabling the smoke detector at the lavatory.
Paul, hello Q8 from York, England. Well, hello there, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us today.
Emergency exits on board.
And I hope our executives are enjoying in the back there, and that you know, our assistant Lindsay is taking care of them.
The exit door.
Checked. Engine 1 start.
All right, let's go and start the engine number 1.
Main passenger door. Raise the red handle and push the door outward. In the event of an emergency,
And at 22%, we'll give it some fuel.
door pump lighting
There we go.
to the exits. The exit locations are indicated by illuminated red signs. In the unlikely event that there is a loss of cabin pressurization, oxygen masks will automatically
Raj Patil, hello there, my friend.
Engine
Welcome.
start checklist complete. After
Katja, hello from Lima Oscar Whiskey Kilo.
nose and mouth and breathe normally. Although the bag
That's probably in Austria, and I almost can tell which airport is this. Is it Graz? No, it's in Austria, isn't it?
or persons in
Jingly Sim, no X-Enviro. No, today we're not going to be flying with X-Enviro. It really does create a lot. Luke, welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel, my friend. Glad to have you as a subscriber, and thank you very much for your support. So X-Enviro has been really doing, it really brings the frames down, so I decided not to use it in this stream. Mr. Hyde, hello from Italy. L. Lima, India. Mike Juliet. Hello, my friend. Welcome.
Seatbelts must be worn during taxi.
And also we have Aishtini from Scotland. Hello, my friend. Welcome. I hope I said your name correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't. Aerodynamics, welcome from Bahrain. Oh, hi. How are you doing? Oh, Luke, thank you so much for your £5 super chat. Luke says, watched your channel for around a month now since getting back into flight simming. Love your videos. Luke, thank you so very much for your generous donation and for your kind words. I really appreciate it, my friend. And we've got Daz T. Arab. Hi, Kuwait from Echo Golf Papa November. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you with us here on the stream. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the
After start checklist.
after start checklist.
Generator 1 and 2.
All right, generators 1 and 2.
On, checked AC and DC. Ignition.
Safety instructions.
Disarm. Pass. On.
If there are any
14th stage.
do not hesitate to ask your flight crew.
Open. Cowl anti-ice. On, check 45 seconds. Flight controls. Checked. Ground spoilers. Checked, stowed, auto. Flight spoilers. Checked, stowed. Cowl anti-ice. Green advisory message on. Test on. Fuel balance. Checked. Trims. 3 set for takeoff. No steer. Armed. APR. Checked, armed. ADG unit. Tested. Supplemental ground wing anti-ice. Test OK. Cowl off. Wing anti-ice. North. 14th stage isolation valve. Checked. Wing anti-ice. Checked, off. ATS. N1 TO. ATC TCAS. TARA. After start checklist complete. Taxi checklist next.
All right, yeah, everything's set up now. And next page, looks good, all looks good. We are good to go. And let's go ahead and just in the range here, it shows us exactly where, how we're gonna take off here after we go to the runway. So all is set up, and all right, before taxi checklist.
Taxi checklist. Taxi lights. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice. Norm, on or off. Brakes and steering.
All right, let's go ahead and
Checked. Reverse thrust. Checked. If taxiing the de-ice, pause checklist here until a paper de-ice checklist is complete. Flaps. 20. Altimeters. Set and cross-check. Radar weather. On. Takeoff briefing. Reviewed.
By the way,
checklist complete.
if we bring this here, currently we don't have the weather or anything turned on. So if we come to this one here, and we're going to set this one to the terrain, and now we have the terrain. And on the other display, we're going to put the weather. So we have the weather. Now, for some reason, immediately after departure, the terrain doesn't really show. For some reason, it just turns off and just goes away. I'm not sure if this is a bug or is this something indigenous to the aircraft. Yeah. Oh, Captain Shakir, how are you doing, my friend? Glad to have you here. Yeah, you made it right before takeoff. So far, would you say the CL650 is worth the price? Absolutely. Absolutely, Luke. It is definitely worth the price for the amount of details and the ability to really study this aircraft. There's a wealth of data and everything is visual, so you can actually visualize everything. And for those of you who haven't, I'm sure a lot of you have watched other streams, but if you go to this section here, all of these items can be studied thoroughly through the representation, visual representation. So for example, if we go to the right engine state, just look at that. I mean, just look at the details of, you know, you've got all the data here, and if you hover the mouse on any of this, it will actually tell you what this is and what it does and what it consists of. Really brilliant aircraft. You can show also the oil system here, as you can see. So really brilliant aircraft. It allows you to really study the aircraft in excruciating detail. Just fabulous stuff. All right, we are good to go. Let's release the parking brake, and to do so, we're going to come here. We're going to push on the toe brakes and release the parking brake, and now we are good to go. All right, we're going to give it some power, and let's go. We don't need Avitab. Oh, by the way, we need to remove the chocks. That's my bad. By the way, here you can see our speeds here. So V rotate is 121. We're just going to wait for the thumbs up, and then we'll be out of our way. All right, thumbs up are there, and let's go. So what is keeping us still? All right, here we go. So yeah, I removed X Enviro as it really brings the frame down with certain sceneries and with this aircraft. So yeah, I decided to remove it for the time being, and I hope that in X-Plane 12 we don't really need anything like that, and that we'll be able to enjoy beautiful clouds out of the box in the new sim. Henrik, you deployed the brakes. Yeah, looks like I did. By the way, I'm not sure. Let's see here. Let's take a look. Yeah, all right. So this is where we need to go. Let's take a look here, and I sure did deploy the brakes. Right, here we go. That's the taxiway. I missed it, and visibility is not that great today here at Salt Lake City. The scenery is that of Mr. X6 short final. Beautiful scenery of Salt Lake City. Here's a wing view for you guys. Look at that landing gear. It's going to be a bit of a long taxi to the runway. Yes, Mike, definitely. It looks really, really good. And I can't really wait for X-Plane 12 to come out. They've improved the already beautiful night lighting, the atmosphere, the vegetation, all the graphics, all the graphical assets of airports. And they're using DirectX 12, so I think we've seen the minimum requirements and the recommended requirements for X-Plane 12, and they're actually very reasonable. So you don't really need a monster of a machine to run the sim. Of course, that said, normally the sim out of the box, even X-Plane 11, doesn't really require that much of compute power. But once you start adding, your high fidelity aircraft and really complex sceneries, then that's when you start, suffering with frames in X-Plane 11, unless of course you have a decent machine and a decent setup. Gibby, hello, my friend, and welcome. Glad to have you with us today. 0321, this is such an amazing piece of software. Gotta love it. I absolutely love it, my friend. What is your prediction on when you will see a beta or early access of XP12? Well, from the looks of it, it shouldn't be very long. I think maybe within a month, we should start getting the the betas out. Plane is worth every penny. Absolutely, Alexander. It is just really a marvelous aircraft, and the amount of details that has gone into this aircraft is just incredible. Haven't really seen anything quite like it. Yeah, it is definitely an aircraft that I really like a lot. And, I think, by the way, you can, when you use the non-persistent mode, you can skip the FBO and Jenny and all that good stuff, and you can just load the aircraft in a non-persistent state and take it for a flight. And I think the aircraft is study level enough for the really serious flight simmer who wants to learn this aircraft inside and out and learn how it's operated and all the systems aboard the aircraft. But it is also, I think, simple enough for the regular simmer to enjoy as well. Obviously, there are a few things you need to learn about the aircraft because it's just not straightforward. So there is definitely a learning curve. But overall, I think this aircraft really should appeal to all range of flight simmers, both the experienced and beginners as well. All right, we are at the close to the runway. Let's bring up the before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Passenger signs. Advised on. Anti-collision light. On. Pros. On. Windshield heat. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice. Norm on or off. Continuous ignition. On. ATC TCAS. TA checked. CAS. Takeoff config OK. Check. Landing, pulse, recog lights. On. Before takeoff checklist complete. After takeoff checklist next.
All right, here's the departure runway. As you can see, immediately after departure, we're going to make a left turn to intercept the flight plan path, and we are now good to go. Let me reset my view. Yes, IFR Captain, I'm very excited. Highly anticipated for the... Yes, absolutely. All right, and we're going to click on ATS. And here we go. What is it complaining about?
Unsafe brakes.
Is it?
Unsafe brakes.
I didn't know the brakes were deployed. 121, rotate. Whoa. Positive rate, gears going up. And here's our turn. Right, flaps up. Can't really see much. We're going to continue our turn. It's so much better with X Enviro, a lot more immersive than X Vision. But nonetheless, X Vision is not bad also. I mean, it's okay. It's a good alternative. That was a very, yeah, we were just skyrocketing there. Right. Check, what does it say here? Check fuel at destination, that's fine. Right. Lie straight. Gonna lower the nose here a bit. Ooh, wow. Let me adjust the trim. Right, we can engage the autopilot. Autopilot engage. Go to nav. And we are going to go to flight change. And now the aircraft is going to climb to 30,000 feet. And you can see now N1 climb. And we did not, by the way, do the after takeoff checklist.
Landing gear. Up. Flaps. 0. Thrust reversers. Off. Ignition. Off. Pressurization. Checked. PAX transition. Completed. N1. Climb set. APU generator. Off. APU. Shut down. Passenger signs.
All right, passenger signs, we can turn those off. So we're going to come here, put this on auto. All right.
On, off, or auto. CAS. Clear. After takeoff checklist complete.
Perfect. So, folks, we are. It was a bit of a. It was a handful to take this aircraft. Not a very, not a very good takeoff, but nonetheless okay. Toga, yeah, on the line, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so we can now take a look at the cabin here. This is basically our flight. Beautiful, again, the flight information screen here is Salt Lake City to Denver, and local time and destination is 4:54 p.m. Estimated time of arrival 6:22 p.m. And we've got our speed, altitude, and we've got the outside temperature. Beautiful, just really everything that you'd expect to see in an aircraft is available here, and everything is looking good. We can increase our speed here a little bit. We're going to go to about 220, so 220 knots, and we continue our climb to 30,000 feet. We can turn off all the lights. There we go. All the lights are now off. and we are doing just fine. Yeah. Let's go and do the check on our passengers there. Let's see here.
May we have your attention, please? You may now remove your seatbelt, although it is recommended to keep your seatbelt fastened.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are now climbing to our cruise altitude, 30,000 feet. Gene, Guy, SkyMax, no sir, we are using X Vision version 2 with the Nordic Extreme preset. We're going to bring up some lights here in the cockpit. Floodlights. We're going to turn on all these lights. There we go. Overhead as well. And we're all good. So basically, here are a few updates for you guys on what I've been working on. Reference the channel. You can note now that the speed has changed to speed rather than N1 climb, and that is all taking care of the aircraft systems, so we don't really need to do anything. It really just takes care of everything, provided that we follow the correct steps. I've done a few test flights this time, so I'm a little more prepared than the previous flight. Hopefully we'll have a successful flight today aboard this really beautiful aircraft. So here's what I've been doing for the channel. I've been preparing for a Microsoft Flight Simulator video where I will be reviewing the recently released Twin Otter by Airsoft. Airsoft really have cemented their position as one of the leading developers for MSFS. Followed by the release of their CRJ 500, 700, and then the 900 variant. I think they have really cemented their position with the release of the Twin Otter for Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I will reserve all my thoughts and what I think of the aircraft, whether it's worth it or not, what are the pros and cons for the upcoming stream this coming Saturday, the 22nd of January. So folks, if you want to really know my honest opinion about the Airsoft Twin Otter, please be sure to tune in at 1800 Zulu on the 22nd of January for more information about the Twin Otter. So that's one thing that is coming. The other thing is I was actually planning to do a comparison video between the Q4XP, which is the Dash 8 for X-Plane, and the Majestic Dash 8 for P3D version 5. Unfortunately, with update 5.3 in P3D, the Majestic Dash 8 does not work properly. There's a problem with the hydraulic system, and the minute you load up the aircraft, it starts beeping like crazy. So it doesn't really work in P3D version 5.3, which is the most recent patch for P3D. So that plan is gone with the wind. That said, though, I'm going to be doing a flight with the Level Up 73600 with the audio checklist recently released. And if you guys follow Flight Deck to Sim, you will probably have watched the use of the audio checklist, which we will be using in an upcoming stream as well. So that's in terms of the upcoming videos and streams on the channel. Another thing worthwhile mentioning is that I'm working on the stream graphics. So I'm working on new alerts, new start screen, transitions, all that good stuff for your viewing pleasure. So I thought I'd make things a little more interesting for you guys. And also I am planning a night flight in the Dash 8 Q400. This has been a request by one of the channel followers, and I know a lot of you guys like the Q4XP, but then, you know, he really wants us to do a flight during nighttime, which I'm very happy to fulfill. Peter says, "Hi Sam, is this livery on the X Aviation forums?" Yes, sir. The home livery or the house livery of the CL650 is available on the X Aviation or the X Pilot forum. You can download it there for free, of course. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the outside real quick. And a flyby. Beautiful. All right, we continue our cruise now. We are at 220 knots, 30,000 feet. And if we consult here, you can see that we are not too far from top of descent, as a matter of fact. If we look here, yeah, we're not too far. Well, actually, we are quite away from top of descent. By the way, if you want to clear the messages that you get here, you just go to message here, and once the message has been read and you go back here, you'll see that the message is now gone, and that's how you clear the messages here, the yellow messages in the CDU unit. She is definitely stunning, yes. Tab asks, what is your opinion on the FlyGym 732? Let me tell you guys, the 732 and the 727 is amongst the very best add-ons for X-Plane 11. The sounds, the fidelity, the immersion, the simulation of systems, the aircraft performance, by account of real-world pilots, those are really excellent aircraft, and I highly recommend them. And of course, I would now add the third one of the FlyJSim fleet of aircraft, the Q4XP or the Bombardier Dash 8 Q400, a very high fidelity representation of the aircraft and truly authentic experience in the Q4XP. There are a few things that they still need to work out. So here are my thoughts on the Q4XP versus the Majestic software Dash 8 Q400. Since I'm unable to do the actual comparison video due to the issues with version 5.3. In terms of the look and feel of the aircraft, the fidelity of the texturing, the modeling, I think the Q4XP has definitely an edge there. And what gives it better edge in terms of the modeling is the interactive passenger cabin. The cabin has been really modeled to be a faithful representation of its real-world counterpart. It is just phenomenal. The amount of work that they've done there is just crazy. If we look at the details of the landing gear, the wings, the engines, again, I think the Q4XP has an edge. It is a much more modern aircraft. But of course, for the Majestic guys, the guys at Majestic should actually have updated their aircraft. This aircraft has received very little updates after release. Almost only compatibility updates after it's been released to the public. Now that said, the actual UNS-1 unit in the Majestic Dash 8 is more accurate than the one in the Q4XP. There are a few functions that are still missing in the Q4XP, which are available in the Majestic version. So they're not very critical in terms of their function. But again, if I am to look at which aircraft has a better simulated systems, it's probably the Majestic Dash 8 at this point, until some of the features are brought into the Q4XP. And so in terms of the modeling, the fidelity, interactivity, the usability, the user friendliness, definitely and the fun as well. There are some fun elements in the Q4XP. Definitely the one by FlyJSim wins all the way. But in terms of the actual UNS unit, by the way, all the tests are equal. Everything is functional. But where the FlyJSim Q4XP excels again is the cockpit, the overall cockpit functionality. So you have all the circuit breakers modeled. This is something not available in the Majestic version. So the Majestic version only wins in the UNS-1 category, which I think to most serious simmers is probably the most important thing, is how real or how representative it is of the aircraft, and how much does it represent the real-world counterpart. So those are my thoughts on the FlyJSim Q4XP versus the Majestic software Dash 8 Q400. It might have a different model, I don't know, but there are certain functionalities that are dimmed out today in the Q4XP. So for example, the pseudo VOR is still not implemented, which I hope that it will be in the near future. There are a few glitches as well. So normally the flight and taxi switch should be on taxi or on ground when you first come to a cold and dark cockpit, properly modeled in the Majestic software. So I pay a lot of attention to a lot of different details when I when I compare the aircraft. I almost actually done the video. Unfortunately, it does not work in the it does not really work in the recent version of P3D, but I was planning actually to do a flight at East Midlands Airport, where we take off, come back and land with both aircraft in a live stream, but that did not materialize. Yeah. Now, in X-Plane, I think, by the way, I don't know if you guys are following me on Twitter, but you can go to Q8Pilot74 on Twitter and take a look at the recently released, I just tweeted today, the MD-11 by Rotate. It looks like it's on short final because, and the trailer looks fabulous. The MD-11 is an aircraft that I really like a lot, and the best one I've ever tried in a flight sim was the PMDG MD-11. Unfortunately, it was for FSX and it was never ported over to P3D. So it was like the abandoned aircraft. Like many other aircraft for flight simulation get abandoned after a while. For example, you could look at the 777 in X-Plane by Flight Factor. Was just pretty much abandoned after the move to X-Plane 11. It was they brought some compatibility updates, but that's probably it. And that's one thing I really like about i9 builds. i9 builds went all the way back to, you know, the A300, the very first aircraft they released, and they brought all the changes and all the enhancements to it after they've done their A310, and after all the glowing reviews that the aircraft received, including by myself, and really naming it or awarding it the Airliner of the Year 2021, beg your pardon. I think it is, yeah, they went back and updated all their fleets, including the A300, the Beluga, which is really commendable. If you ask me of the flight factor fleet, which is my favorite aircraft, I would immediately tell you that it would be the flight factor A320. I think this is the most successful of the flight factor lineup, but I also do like their 757 a lot. Again, very long time and dedicated developer for X-Plane 11. Are you going through the iFly 737 review? I've seen all your notes, Net Prober. I've seen your notes, and based on your notes, I actually went and purchased the aircraft. But I'll tell you right off the bat, if you have the 737 by PMDG, and if you've ever flown the Zibo 737, that aircraft does not cut it. So there's really no need for me to do a review of it. It does not meet the minimum requirement to be reviewed on the QA Pilot channel. Unfortunately, it scores below 6, and anything below 6 will not even make it to the QA Pilot channel. So the aircraft is not in a state where I would recommend it, and maybe they've simulated things, but the overall ambience, the look and feel, there's so many glitches and so many errors in the aircraft from a control panel features perspective rather than system simulation, because I haven't really tested the systems. But the iFly 737 Advanced, whatever they call it, fleet is not worth the money, guys. So even if you're a P3D fan and you're still flying P3D, do not purchase the iFly 737. It's not worth the money. It's not worth your time. End of story. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the performance here, and we're going to set our ILS frequency also for the runway. We're going to go to the performance menu, and we're going to take a look here at the approach, and we are approaching Denver, runway 16 right. Let's take a quick look at the weather at Denver, and if we consult our SimBrief plan, looks like we have 199 knots, so bit of a violent wind there. 9 knots is not too bad, but is it 19 at 5 or 9? Yeah, blame it on my eyes. 190 degrees, a 5 knot wind, so let's go ahead and do that. 190 and 5. And we'll put that here, and it will populate all the data for us here. And if we look at the temperature is -5 Celsius. Ooh, wow. And the altimeter is 3025. 3025, and we stick that here, and all is looking good now. Looks like we're going to arrive. It's going to be a night approach into Denver. Should be interesting. And if we go to the next page, we can see VREF 124, VAC 124, VFTO is 148. All right, we can send that, and now you can see it's in progress, and now the speeds are locked in and activated for our approach. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to note the ILS frequency for our arrival runway, which is 111.9. So we are going to go to tune, and we're going to set 111.9, in nav1 and 111.9 in nav2. And we are all set. FMS N1 disagree. And why is that? Let's see here. Next. It's 210 there. That's fine. All right. So about 79, 78 nautical miles, and we should begin our descent. And if we look at the Navigraph charts here, let's go and take a look at runway 16 right at Denver. Let's see here, flights. All right, we go to flight. Sim brief. All right, so let me bring this over to you guys so you can see what I am talking about. All right, so if this is us right now. As you can see, we're almost halfway through. We're going to go to Denver, and we're going to select the charts, and we're going to look at the approach charts. It's 16 right, which is this one here. And if we take a look at the chart here, we need to be at 7,000 to intercept the localizer and glide slope for the localizer for runway 16 right. This is the runway there. So this is how we're going to be arriving and intercepting the ILS to land. As you can see, we are not too far now from the destination. -5, common Q8. It's been -27 all week here. Oh my gosh, really? Ooh, wow, that's really cold. Your speed target is still in climb mode. That might actually be right. We can increase our speed a little bit to, let's see here. We can go to about 230. There we go. It's getting pretty dark. And I really like the cockpit lights here. All right, we can go to the passengers in the back. And let's see here. We can probably bring up some lights. If we go here, cabin lights. Let's see here. Ah, look at that. How cool is that? And now you have lights all over the cabin. Mark, welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel, my friend. Thank you for your support and for being a subscriber. And maybe we can sit down here and, ooh, look at that. How cool is that? Wow, I love this aircraft. It's just really, really pretty cool. And you've got the, flight information display here. 30,000 feet. Remaining distance is about 240 miles. And remaining flight time is 53 minutes. Just look at the cockpit lights. Beautiful cockpit lights really aboard this aircraft. So while we are in cruise, and we're going to be in cruise for quite some time, I was surprised to find the developer who made this is the genius behind Better Pushback, LibRain, extras, etc. Well, it's no surprise. I mean, the guy is very talented. CJ6060, very good as usual. Love your reviews. Thanks again. Well, sir, thank you very much. Yusuf is asking, are you from Kuwait? Yes, sir. I am from Kuwait, Yusuf. Welcome to the Kuwait Pilot channel, my friend. Actually, a funny thing, I'll share with you guys a funny kind of event, if you will. So I was at work the other day, and I was in the elevator, and there was someone speaking to me in the elevator. You know, it was just regular chit chat. And there was a guy sitting or standing right next to the guy who was talking to me. And then all of a sudden, he just kind of, you know, I caught him just staring at me, and I smiled, and I said, do I know you? And he said, can I ask you a personal question? And I said, yeah, please go ahead. And he said, are you a Kuwait pilot? And I was shocked, and I was like smiling, and I said, yes, sir, I am Kuwait pilot. He said, I said, but how did you know? He said, by your voice. You know, I was speaking to, he said, you have a very distinctive voice. And, you know, I was thinking to myself, this must be the guy I'm watching on YouTube. And it was just really a funny, you know, funny occasion. And then a couple of days later, actually some guys, some vendors visited me from the IBM representatives in Kuwait. And the lady was talking about, you know, computers and what have you. And then, you know, we kind of sidetracked, started talking about, you know, different things, and streaming came as one of the subjects. And I told them, yeah, I stream, you know, for fun. It's a hobby that I have. And I said, oh, well, what's your, you know, what's your handle? What's your nickname on YouTube? And I told them, well, you know, I'm Kuwait pilot. And she just looked at me and said, you are a Kuwait pilot? Oh, wow. You know, we've been watching your streams, and, you know, it looks like there is this community of people that are, you know, gamers, and that I'm not aware of. And it looks like I am, you know, one of the subjects they talk about, that there's, you know, yeah, I guess that's great. Yeah, you're a celebrity in the flight sim world. Keep up the great. Well, thank you so very much, sir. Appreciate it. I don't feel that I'm a celebrity, but yeah, it looks like, you know, it's, I tell you, it's kind of fun to know that you have this kind of impact on people, that people, you know, like you, and it's good to be liked. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I just never thought that, you know, that people would actually talk about it. I mean, to me, I'm just sitting in, you know, in the comfort of my home, and doing those streams for the pleasure of the community. And we've had a really nice stream with Pilot Peely the other day in memory of Spag Oz. I don't know if you guys know Spag Oz, who unfortunately left our world and hopefully went to a better place last December. So we did a group flight in memory of his, you know, of losing such a dedicated person to the flight sim community. And yeah, he was good friends with XP72, with Dougal, Pilot Peely, all those fine gentlemen. And yeah, you are the reason I got into X-Plane, bro. Well, thank you very much, sir. I'm glad that I was, you know, an inspiration, and that I was able to help you in whatever way possible. People missed you on your retirement. Well, yeah, yeah, Gibby. I mean, I know, and it was. I kind of missed doing videos, and I itched at points where, you know, during that time where I said, you know what, I really wanted to do this video. I think people would really benefit if I do 1, 2, 3. And I kept having, and then I, you know, the next morning I wake up and say, you know what, I don't really feel like it. You know, I don't feel like doing the video. And so I was kind of in a kind of a dilemma, you know, thinking about it, whether I should go back into it. I think I quit for like 3 months or so. So it was a good time off of the hobby to miss it, and to really miss the interaction with the community. And then, of course, Flight Dictason has told me to come back. V1 told me to come back. And then there was a long talk with Threshold CEO over Discord, where we chatted, about our personal lives and, what we're doing and things like that. And, interestingly enough, he's got a similar background to mine. He's also an IT guy. And then he gave me a few tips, just some things to think about. So I'm really grateful to all these guys for, making me come back to the hobby. It's something I really enjoy a lot. I enjoy really giving you guys a good time, but also transferring the knowledge, sharing the knowledge where possible, and where I have something new to add, then yeah. I've been watching your videos for a while now. Saw you were live on my feed and realized I wasn't subbed. I commend you for the great content, sir. Well, thank you very much, Mark. I really appreciate it, my friend. Speed check us. How do you get to know about all the aircraft before you make a flight or live streaming? Well, speed check, it's lots of practice. So I do practice a lot on these aircraft. By the way, we're not too far from top of descent, so we should be there in a little while. I'm not sure if this is the top of descent, or let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it's somewhere here, maybe. If I look at the flight plan. So, to answer your question, is just practice and patience. All of that you need in order to learn all those aircraft. There are some aircraft that are, more difficult than others. But for the most part, yeah, they are. Does anyone remember the Cessna 154 channel from about 10 years ago? He used to do reviews on aircraft and a series called Runway in Sight. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, to be honest. I am aware of the streamer or the video content maker. I always appreciate your honest, independent reviews. Well, thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. And I think this is something I take a lot of pride in, guys, is the fact that I do completely unbiased reviews. And this is one of the reasons I like to buy all my add-ons. So I don't, by the way, a lot of developers offer to give me their add-ons for free to test out. But I feel somehow that you need to not say certain things because, the guy has given you, his add-on to promote it, and he's giving it to you for free. So his hard work has been given free, and you were supposed to go and show all the good things about it. But for me, I think I'd rather purchase all the add-ons and be true to the community and give them my honest feedback. And by the way, you don't really have to agree with everything I say. I mean, some people have come on the channel and they've disagreed strongly with my views on certain aircraft, and that's perfectly fine. But I think this interaction is very useful for the rest of the community. So maybe one of these guys come and tell me, no, I think Q8, I think you're wrong here. I think you don't understand how this aircraft works. Actually, this is very accurate and it does 1, 2, 3, 4. So then this becomes very useful for the community. So for folks such as yourselves to come and say, well, you know what, let me give it a try based on this conversation. Maybe Q8 has missed it. Normally, after all the experience that I have, I know when I load up the add-on immediately on the screen, I know that this is going to, for example, have glorious reviews by everyone. I know this aircraft is probably not going to be for everyone. And so I base my opinions based on those terms. Sometimes it's not just my personal view. I do insist on the videos that it's my personal view. But the reason I say this is is that you don't have to agree with me. But guys, really, it's based on my experience of what I think the community wants, what the community wants to see. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see. We are going to go ahead and we are at this is the top of descent. So we are going to go ahead and reset the altitude to, let me bring this up here. And we're going to set the altitude to 7,000, which is the platform altitude at Denver. 7,000 feet is set. Okay, and I'm going to also reduce our speed. So we are going to go to, why did I do that? 218. All right, let's go to 200 knots. All right, 200 knots is set. And now we can enable VNAV. So VNAV is enabled. And once we hit the top of descent mark, the aircraft will begin descending to 7,000 feet. Tango Whiskey Simulation is, this is the most advanced aircraft for X-Plane 11. Yes, sir, it is. Is it all the PMDG only for P3D, or is it good for X-Plane, MSFS? Last question. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you very much, Speedcheck. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, Stan. Thank you very much, sir. Anyone else see the teaser for the Rotate MD-11 yesterday? Yeah, it was really, really good. It's exciting, definitely. What a beautiful speech. Oh, thank you, sir. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. It's certainly a great gift to inspire others. Your streams are a great source of inspiration, knowledge, and learning for all. Thank you very much, sir. Falcons Frontier. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I have to go. Nice. Well, take care, my friend. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, buddy. All right. So if we look here, this seems to be the top of descent mark, so we're not too far from top of descent. And if I look at my SimBrief, map, it actually is in sync with what we see here. So we're good there. And right before the descent, you will actually see the the dots here moving downwards. And as soon as we hit the top of descent point, then the aircraft will begin descending. And today we're going to be descending all the way down to 7,000 feet to intercept the localizer, runway 16 right at Denver, Colorado International Airport. Good afternoon from Massachusetts. Well, hello there, my friend. Welcome. All right, let's take a look here. And looks like this is the top of descent here. So we should be able to see it on the display momentarily. We'll give it just a little bit more time. By the way, it's pitch dark right now, as you can see here. I'm really excited about X-Plane 12. And I know that the night lighting has been improved a great deal in the new version of X-Plane. Yeah, it looks like this is the top of descent mark right here at Bivy. That's where we're going to begin the descent, and this actually corresponds to the to what I see on the map here at on my SimBrief screen. Yeah, all's looking good so far. And if we look actually back here and just look at that view. Wow. Looks really good. May contour this as well. I really like the cockpit lights during night. As you can see, the glow, the green light glow, it looks really fantastic. All right, so we continue now. Let's take a quick look here. Almost at the top of descent, right there. By the way, one of the things you can do, in case you missed this in the, if you go to edit failures, just look at how many things you can actually do with this aircraft. So if you want to practice something or you want to study something, like the depth of simulation in this aircraft is just unmatched. I haven't seen anything quite like this. And you know, I really like, by the way, the Cessna 172 by Airfoil Labs. It is, again, very detailed, but this is massive. I mean, just really, you can really simulate real world situations with all of this and set things to work in exactly the way you want. Let's take a look here. Almost there at TOD. See here the green light glow, and right here as well. It just looks really, really good. Yep. To fix APT, OAT, IDX, next arrival. Oh! IDX, fix, is it? IDX, and then next. And arrival data. And I guess we go to arrival. I think we do have everything here. So I'm not sure why it's still saying to check the temperature. Legs, like wind. We have all the winds there, so yeah. Alright, so if we look here, as you can see, this is the top of descent mark. So if I hide this and bring this back here, so now we should be able to see the VNAV path coming, and we get an alert of no, there we go. See this now here? And now the aircraft, you will see this needle starting to move down as we approach the top of descent, which is right here. So we're almost there, and we should also get an alert that says TOD, or top of descent. And the aircraft will then automatically begin the descent towards the set altitude, which is 7,000. We'll just give it a little while here, and as you can see now, you can see the magenta diamond here, and you can see the alert here for top of descent. And once the needle starts moving down, the aircraft will also begin descending, as you can see now, and it will maintain this at the center line here. And as you can see now, we've begun the descent to our final approach platform of 7,000. Mountainous terrain beneath us here as we approach Denver in the state of Colorado. I've been to Denver a couple of times, and we need to be careful with the altitude here and our speeds. Let's go ahead and just remind ourselves of the speeds. There are a few restrictions that we need to be aware of here. So we need to be above flight level 190 and below 22,000, which I don't think we will be able to do because we're at 30,000 feet. So that is not something I think we can do. We can go here still quite a way before we... Actually, we need to probably increase our rate of descent, but we will decide in a little bit. Once maybe we reach our cruise altitude, we'll decide whether we use vertical speed to further reduce our speed, further reduce our altitude, or increase the rate of descent. Next time you must do a bird strike for us, IFR Captain. Sure, no worries at all. All right, so we are going to head back to the passengers and just inform them that we are about to arrive into our destination.
May we have your attention, please? We're approaching our destination and will be landing in a few minutes. Please place all storage compartments and tables in their fully stowed position.
By the way, that's what the heads-up display looks like.
Ensure that your seats are fully up
Really love this aircraft, love all the details.
and observe the seatbelt and no smoking signs when nearby.
Let me just count very quickly here. We need to be at 7,000. We are at 25. 5, 15, 15, 18, 36, 46. That's some 50. Okay, so 12, 20, 32, 36, 40, 45, 50. I think we're good. So far, we're good. I'm going to extend the speed brake a little bit here and make sure we reduce our speed and maintain about 200 knots or so. As you can see here, we need to be below 22,000. But above 19,000 in this sector of our flight. All right, let's do the, we should have done the descent
Descent
checklist.
checklist. Shoulder harness. Secure. Passenger signs.
Passenger signs.
On or auto. Pressurization. Set. Fuel quantity and balance. Checked. FMS landing data charts. Programmed set. Approach briefing. Reviewed. VNAV transition flight level. Set. Descent checklist complete. In range checklist next.
All right, so we're the in-range checklist right before that time. We will go ahead and it's pitch dark here. Looks like there's an aircraft right over there. But it should be an interesting approach. We can change the time, by the way, if you guys want. But then we would lose the GNS signal with this aircraft. So it is time sensitive. So when you change things, the aircraft systems kind of get messed up. Because in real world, you can't really do that. You can't just go and change the time. So it does affect the aircraft when you do so. What about speed brakes for increased rate of descent? Yeah, you can definitely do that. We are increasing the rate of descent. So we are at 20,000. We're still looking good. We need to be below 21, and which we are, but above 16,000, which we still are. So we're still doing okay. And the transition altitude. All right, so let's check the altimeter real quick at Denver. And the altimeter, if we look at the wind data here, 3025, 190 knots, 190 degrees, 5 knot wind, and all is good there. Let's take a look at the outside. Man, pitch black. All right, we're now approaching our transition altitude. In the United States is 18,000 feet. Right, we don't need the speed brakes anymore. All right, we are now descending below the transition altitude, as you can see here. So we're going to set the 3025. There we go. 3025 is set. You can see the rate of descent is adjusting now. And we're going to just make sure that our speed remains within reason. We're not too far now. As you can see, this is the turn into Denver. So I think we're doing okay. Another 10,000 feet. And we'll be at our platform altitude. All right, so what we're going to do, folks, we're going to go ahead and call the, FBO. All right, so we're going to prepare a van for our business executives so they can go and sign the business deal. Yes, we are sure. Thank you very much. We don't need anything else. No, thank you very much. That'll be it. Perfect. So we have ordered the van to come and pick up our passengers as soon as we arrive into Denver, so they can be on their way to finalize their business deal. Again, really beautiful details in this HotStart Challenger 650 that really simulates the experience of a corporate pilot. And I really love all the details, whether in the aircraft or whether the full experience that you go through in this aircraft, from ordering, you know, the jet fuel, doing, for example, de-icing at the airport before departure. And by the way, this aircraft in icing conditions will accumulate ice on the aircraft wings, and it is visible. You can actually see the ice forming on the aircraft wings, which I think is brilliant. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look here at the speed. Speed says 210. We are at 200 knots, so that's okay. We continue to descend steadily to 7,000 feet, about 7,500 feet left for our platform altitude. Altimeter is set. We're doing good. And as soon as we begin the turn here, we're going to do the in-range checklist, and then before landing checklist, and we will be then there. In this video, what I'm going to attempt to do is I am not going to disconnect the ATS. I am going to disconnect only the autopilot, but I'm going to leave the ATS on its own. And what it should do is that it should automatically disconnect when the aircraft flares, and should then disconnect, and it should allow us to deploy the reversers. So that's what we're going to be doing in this flight. I'm going to go ahead and increase the, or zoom in a little bit here so we can see our turn better. There we go. And we are now approaching Denver. 13,000 feet. We can see this one. You can see the glide slope needle coming down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce our speed to about 180 knots. I'm going to deploy the speed brake. And you can see here the dot. That should help us keep the, as you can see now, we're starting to be a little too high for the current sector. Just about, not too much. That's the localizer needle, as you can see. And let's go ahead and reduce our speed to 170 knots. And we're going to allow the aircraft to descend. Super Gombe, hi, is there a way to brighten the glare shield and the overhead panel, or it stays like that in the night? Well, the overhead panel, I think you have the cockpit light, so here you can turn this on, and now you'll have better lighting inside the cockpit, and you can do it, of course, on the other side as well, if that's what you choose to do. There you go. So now you have a better, and yeah. So yeah, I think this is the best you can have. You can see here all the lights. You can turn those on as well, and those on, and we can turn this guy on, and now you can see that you have beautiful night lighting. We can kill the map light now, and let's see, how does it look? Yeah, I think it looks great. Look at that. Got all your circuit breakers down here. All right, we're coming up to, all right, let's do the in-range checklist.
In-range checklist. APU.
And we're going to go ahead
Start.
and
Altimeters.
approach.
Reset, cross-checked. Avionics. Set. External lights. On. N1 target. Set. APU PAX transition. Avail completed. APU generator. On. CAS. Checked. In range checklist complete. Before landing checklist next.
All right, so as you can see now, you can see the localizer needle and the glide slope needles, both are there. And let me just quickly remind myself of the speeds, performance, perf in, and now you can see that the localizer is active, and it will automatically change from FMS to localizer 1. And if I go to, oh, that's not what we wanted to do, performance, and performance menu, approach, and the next page here, you can see that this VRF is 124. So there we go, and we are almost there now, folks. We are at 10,000. Is there a restriction here? Yeah, there is obviously a restriction. And we are going to reduce our speed now to 150 knots. Speed check, and gears going down. Spoilers are deployed. There we go. Glide slope is active, and as you can see, the aircraft is now descending towards our final destination. And let's see here. We're gonna run to the back here real quick. And let's see, landing. I think we played this once, didn't we? Yeah, we did. All right. X camera's acting funny. And now all is good. Speed check. Flaps 20. And we are looking good. And speed check. Flaps 30. And now we're going to reduce our speed to about 140. The runway is in sight. By the way, if we change the time, it will probably give us a better replay, but we're just going to leave it as it is. The runway is in sight now, and now let's go ahead and reduce our speed to 130 knots. Speed check. Flaps 45. I'm just trying to adjust my view there. Right, all looks good. Let's go ahead and call the before landing checklist.
Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever. Down indicating. No steer. Arm centered clear. Anti-skid. Armed tested. Passenger signs. On. Wing cowl anti-ice. On or off. Continuous ignition. On. Thrust reversers. Armed. Spoilers. Stowed auto. Flaps. Set. CAS. Checked. Before landing checklist complete. After landing checklist next.
All right, folks, we are clear to land. Runway 16 right at Denver. All's looking good. At 1,000 feet, we're going to disconnect the autopilot, but we're going to keep the ATS running to maintain our speed. We are going to go ahead and reduce our speed now to 125 knots. 125 knots is set.
2,500.
2,500 feet. Let's take a look at, let's do a flyby. Oh, yes. Look at that nose landing gear. Looks Amazing. All right, here we go. We'll wait for the 1,000 feet mark. I think that's better for view for landing. We are on the glide slope and the localizer. I smell butter. Yeah, no one's in the road. All is watching Q8 pilot, which increases the pressure on Q8 pilot as he comes into land, right? Yeah. All looks good. God, I love X-Plane. Just really adore the night lighting in X-Plane. Right, folks, we are looking good. 113 feet, and just beautiful, beautiful lights and an approach into Denver. Mert Ozen, welcome to the VVIP membership. 5 months of support. Thank you, sir, very much. Appreciate it.
1,000.
All right, 1,000 feet, ladies and gentlemen. Autopilot disconnected, and my aircraft. I still see the 1 or 2 reds, 2 whites. So we're looking all right. Niels, thank you very much for your support. 1 year at the VVIP membership at the Create Pilot channel. Thank you, sir. Here we go, folks. We are coming to land now. We're looking okay. Woohoo! Welcome to Denver International Airport, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe our business executives have liked this landing. FPM is 185. According to SimBrief. And there we go. Welcome to Denver. I absolutely loved the approach. All right, let's do the
After landing checklist.
after landing.
Landing pulse recog lights. Off. Anti-collision lights. Off. Continuous ignition. Off. Windshield heat. Off. Probes. Off. Wing anti-ice. Off. Cowl anti-ice. On or off. Spoilers. Stowed. Flaps. 0. ATC TCAS. Alt on. Radar mode. Standby. After landing checklist complete. Engine shutdown checklist next.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And time flies in good company. Safe landing, Q8. Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate it. Timmy Tim, smooth landing as always. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, Daniel. Lasar 277. Thank you very much, sir. It definitely did look nice enough. Yep. The plane has its own hard landing indication system. Yes, someone told me about that actually, and he explained it to me. So But of course, I was too focused on the landing, so I'm not sure if you guys have the readings and you can let me know how well I've done. Yeah, I'll appreciate that, but it definitely looked good. Now Denver is a very large airport, so it's gonna take us some time to get to the terminal. But I can see that the taxiway to our left is right ahead, and we can just go to the main terminal. This is one of the really nice sceneries for X-Plane of Denver. Again, if you are interested in the airport, you can type in exclamation ARR for Arrival Airport, and you'll be able to get the link to it directly to the product page to get the airport. It's got really nice signage and beautiful custom buildings, and even the inside of the terminals is modeled, so it does actually look very good. We'll take a look now, and we'll change the time as well, but we'll see the Gibby, thank you very much. Alex, IFR Captain, thank you very much, guys, really appreciate it. There we go, that's the main terminal. Beautiful custom night lighting as well at Denver International at this airport. Just all around a really nice airport. One that I personally recommend for X-Plane 11. And hopefully we'll see all these airports get updated for X-Plane 12. Woo, nice. Well, hopefully after this flight we get a recommendation from our clients that they will give our flight a good review so that we get promoted. And Niels, thank you very much for your 20 DKK donation. X-Plane likely will remain may go-to flight, yeah, my go-to flight sim. Absolutely, sir. It will always be there, and it's only getting better and better with time. X-Plane is definitely does not have the amount of developers that that Asobo Studio, for example, have. They don't have the financial backings of Microsoft, but they have a bunch of very passionate, very committed folks. And when you hear the developers there speak about X-Plane, about the future of X-Plane, and about all the good stuff that they're doing, you can see it in their eyes. You can see those guys mean business, and they are very passionate about what they do. And yeah, definitely X-Plane is to stay, and I absolutely love it. We'll continue to love it. We'll continue to stream it the most, probably. Again, I do like Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's definitely coming along nicely. We are starting to see some, good fidelity aircraft making their way into the sim. But to date, Microsoft Flight Simulator offers much more in terms of the depth of system simulation in high fidelity aircraft, both GA and airliners, turboprops, everything. It's just by far the sim that offers more fidelity in terms of the flight sim experience, in my view. Beautiful terminals here, and a lot of empty spots for us to park our aircraft. So we're just going to pick one of the positions here at Denver and bring the aircraft to a clean. You can see to our right the United hangar. You can see all the fleet from United. And so we're just going to make a turn here, and we're going to stop. It was definitely a very long taxi into. Yeah, I think we can just come over here, and I'm not sure why there is a stutter now. You know, I actually noticed that Streamlab OBS causes a lot of stuttering. It is a very CPU intensive live stream software. But yeah, we'll take a quick look now at the airport once we park the aircraft, and we'll definitely take a look back at at the landing. But I'm going to change the time so that we can see the landing a little better. But yeah, let's go ahead and park the aircraft here. Charlie 30. Let's park it there. All right, here we go. And the marshaller is telling us to come forward. Alrighty. And let's set the parking brake. Ah, parking brake was set all this time. I guess this is something in this Challenger 650 you need to push the toe brakes together and then set the brakes to actually bring the aircraft to a stop. All right, so before we actually shut down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the time here at Denver so we can do our replay. And then we'll come back. Actually, let's do the shutdown checklist. So
Engine shutdown checklist. Taxi
Okay.
lights. Off. Parking brake. Set. Reverse thrust. Stowed. Generators 1 and 2. Off. Engine 2 shut down.
all right, let's shut engine number 2. Don't turn the engines off before replay, otherwise you'll have no sound. Oh, really? Oh, that's too bad. All right, we're almost engine 1. Well, it's okay. We can do without the sounds. We'll just take a look at it. We'll do it from the outside. Right, engine is shut down. And we are going to come down here and shut the other engine as well.
Fuel boost pumps. Off. Fuel system. Check. Engine 1 shut down. Check ITT below 350 degrees Celsius.
All right, that's the jetway coming to the aircraft, and this, of course, this specific position is not suitable for a jetway or the aircraft, but that's all right. And we have also now the second engine being completely shut down.
Anti-ice. Off. 14th stage. Off. Beacon.
Beacon light.
Off. No steer.
No steer.
Off. ATC TCAS.
And we can come and
Standby 0. Parking brake if chalked.
right, we can bring the chocks.
Off. Passenger signs.
All right, passenger signs.
Off. Cabin differential. 0 psi. Engine shutdown checklist complete. Securing checklist next.
All right, let's go ahead and let our passengers out. We're going to come here and
our ride is here. Thank you, Captain. Always such a pleasure flying with you. Have
Well-
a nice rest of your day.
You're most welcome. Glad you enjoyed the flight. Wish you guys a pleasant day and all the best on your business deal. All right, so our passengers are being picked up now. So let's go ahead and we'll do the secure checklist once we are. Actually, let's go ahead and do the secure checklist, and we're going to close the door as well, and then we're going to do the replay. So let's sit back in our seat, and let's do the secure checklist.
Secure and checklist. Emergency lights. Off. AC/DC utility switch. Off. 3 minutes. Headsets. Off. Thrust reversers. Off. Chocks. Installed. Parking brake. Off. Hydraulic pumps.
Come on.
Off. Nav lights. Logo light. Off. APU generator.
Now, for some reason, once you reach this stage, it just doesn't confirm, it doesn't do anything. So I'm not sure why, but what we can do is we can stop this and we can turn off the battery, and we are back to the cold and dark state, and we can now exit the aircraft. Am I in X camera mode? I'm not sure in which mode are we. We are now in disabled X camera. All right, that's cool. We're going to close the door, then we're going to do the replay. All right, let's come this way. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. That's not what we wanted to do. All right, let's do this. There we go. All right. All right, all done. Let's do a replay. Well, that's that. There we go. And I think for the replay, I hope X-Plane doesn't crash. Not now, anyway. I think it's probably loading, but when I get this silence, we're not going to be able to do the time change. So let's see here. Think it's going to be pitch dark. Sorry about that, guys. That's the aircraft. All right, let's go ahead and play it here. There will be no sounds. That's my bad. And we can't change the time. That's also too bad. But hopefully, yeah, it's not going to be very interesting to watch this replay. But nonetheless, we'll just leave it there. Well, folks, this has been really an enjoyable stream. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And yeah, chocks before replay too. Remove chocks before replay. Yeah, oh, they'll show up. Oh, I see. Okay. In the end, you need to finish the checklist by reading the PDF one. Oh, okay. Thank you for subscribing. The King. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, my friend. The KDEN terminal is unique. It has a fabric roof and looks like a series of tent tops as you approach. It's actually been very durable. Yes, sir. It's really a brilliant airport. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think this replay is much of a interesting thing to do. So, yeah, that's the inside the terminal.
Please keep all bags and personal items with you at all times and inform airport personnel of any unattended bags or suspicious
How
behavior.
cool is that?
Do not accept packages or other items from strangers.
So that's Denver International, and if we look here, for example, just look at that. The scenery is just fabulous. So beautiful scenery of Denver, and as you can see, the terminal inside some of the terminals here. So if we go down this way, so those terminals are modeled, as you can see. And those as well. So if we go down here, those are also modeled. And this is the airport. Right there. And we can also change the time a little bit to show you guys what this looks like during daytime. And just really a fantastic rendition of Denver International Airport. There you have it. Well, folks, I hope that you've enjoyed this flight. In 45 Toto will have a Twitch stream about the new updates to the CL650. Henrik, thank you very much. I will be sure to tune in. Unfortunately, I missed most of the flight because I had to go fix a flat tire for my girlfriend. Well, that's always a good cause. Folks, I really want to thank you very much for tuning in tonight. And just as a reminder, there will be another live stream on Saturday, the 22nd, where we will be doing a full review of the recently released Aerosoft Twin Otter for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.